before arrival. Onboard planning. Objective. The onboard planning process for docking an LNG vessel is essential to ensure that all necessary maintenance, services, inspections, and safety checks are conducted efficiently. Planning should begin several months before the scheduled dry dock date to allow adequate time for coordination among all relevant stakeholders, including crew members, technical team, classification societies, and shipyard personnel. All ship staff should be familiar with the QDMS procedures for dry docking. Steps involved. Initial meeting and work list creation. The Chief Officer and Chief Engineer, in collaboration with the vessel's management and technical teams, develop a comprehensive work list. This work list includes routine maintenance tasks, mandatory inspections, and repairs or upgrades identified in the dry dock specifications. It serves as the foundation for all dry docking activities. Class and statutory surveys. Class and statutory surveys due during the dry dock period must be carefully planned. These include hull inspections, machinery overhauls, safety equipment tests, and checks. Classification societies should be contacted early to schedule surveyors' attendance during key stages of the dry docking process. Spare parts and tools preparation. A detailed inventory of spare parts and tools required for maintenance is compiled. Orders for critical components must be placed well in advance to prevent delays. Special attention is given to items essential for LNG-specific systems, such as cryogenic equipment and inert gas systems. Crew training and briefing. The crew must be provided with detailed training and briefings on safety protocols, work schedules, and their roles during dry dock operations. Emergency response drills are particularly important as dry docking introduces unique hazards not encountered during regular operations at sea. Coordination with shipyard. Docking dates, berth availability, and specific requirements must be confirmed with the shipyard. The shipyard should be fully informed of the unique needs of LNG vessels, such as the handling of cryogenic cargo systems and specialized safety requirements. This ensures alignment and smooth execution of all dry docking activities. By adhering to these steps, onboard planning establishes a strong foundation for the successful and safe execution of all dry dock operations. Tank preparation, gas freeing of LNG ship. Objective. Gas freeing the cargo tanks is necessary to eliminate all LNG residues and vapors to make the tank safe for man entry for the inspection, maintenance, and repair work. Inert gas will be used for gas freeing. The cargo tanks must be warm to ensure proper stratification and to avoid freezing of carbon monoxide present in the inert gas. The LNG residues must be removed before initiating the inerting process. This is a critical procedure that requires strict adherence to safety protocols. Dangers of nitrogen. Nitrogen is a colorless and odorless gas that can cause oxygen deficiency in confined spaces and at exhaust openings on deck, during purging of tanks and void spaces. The domes on NO96 type tanks should be well ventilated before entry. This creates an environment where there is not enough oxygen to support human life, making it extremely hazardous for anyone in or near those spaces. The two main risks associated with nitrogen are asphyxiation and cold burns. Asphyxiation happens due to absence of oxygen needed to breathe. Without sufficient oxygen, a person may quickly feel dizzy, weak, or confused. If exposure continues, it can lead to unconsciousness and, in severe cases, death. Inhaling even a single breath of pure nitrogen can be fatal. Nitrogen not only removes oxygen from the lungs, but also eliminates carbon dioxide, which signals the brain to take another breath. Without this signal, the body may stop breathing altogether. Cold burns occur when nitrogen is in its liquid state, as it is extremely cold. Coming into direct contact with liquid nitrogen can cause frostbite, damaging skin and tissue almost instantly. Because nitrogen is invisible and odorless, it's essential to remain vigilant. Oxygen levels in confined spaces must be continuously monitored with calibrated gas detectors. The carbon monoxide levels in the tanks must also be checked before entry. Safety protocols, such as proper ventilation, clear signage, use of personal protective equipment, and permit-to-work system, must always be followed to prevent accidents. Steps involved. Initial preparations. LNG evaporation and warming up. If there is any remaining LNG in the cargo tanks, it must be eliminated completely before the inerting process begins, and tank must be warmed up before the commencement of inerting operation. Tank pressure control. The pressure in the cargo tanks must be carefully monitored and maintained at safe levels. Inerting with nitrogen or inert gas. Purging. Purge the tanks with nitrogen or inert gas to displace LNG vapors. The tanks are gradually filled with inert gas, which reduces the methane concentration to below the flammable limits. Monitoring. Continuous monitoring of oxygen and gas levels within the tanks is critical during purging. Tank pressure, oxygen concentration, and the presence of any combustible gases must be monitored using calibrated portable gas detectors. Gas freeing. Ventilation. After inerting, the tanks are ventilated by introducing fresh air to remove any remaining inert gas and bring the tank's atmosphere to acceptable levels for human entry. Gas-free certificate. Once the tank atmosphere is safe, a gas-free certificate must be issued by an authorized chemist. By understanding these risks and staying alert, lives can be safeguarded during the tank preparation process. Permit to work and checklist. Objective. The proper use of permit to work system and checklists is essential to ensure every aspect of the dry docking process is thoroughly planned, documented, and tracked. These tools help maintain compliance with safety and regulatory standards while ensuring that no critical steps are overlooked during this complex procedure. Key forms and checklists. Gas-free certificate. This certificate is issued by the certified shore chemist to the vessel that certifies that the vessel is gas-free and allows the vessel to enter the shipyard. Safety and permit to work forms. These forms are mandatory for authorizing personnel to work in high-risk areas. They provide formal approval for activities such as confined space entry, operations involving high-pressure systems, and hot work, clearly identifying hazards and necessary safety measures. By implementing these forms and checklists, the dry docking process becomes more structured, traceable, and compliant, ensuring both safety and efficiency at every stage.